What our embryologist is performing in this video is the process of a sperm sample being frozen. And the first step of this is identifying the cup to make sure the information on that cup matches our patient information. The next step is to pipette up the entire sample and put it into a blue capped tube, which you can see to his right. And while he's doing this, he will take a small drop of that sample and place it onto the macular counting chamber, which you can see is that silver round device on the countertop. And this counting chamber enables us to take a closer look at the sperm sample and count how many sperm are present, how many of those are moving, and how many are moving at what speed. The next step is to add the cryoprotectant to the sperm sample. And this is done in a slow process. We introduce that cryoprotectant slowly to make sure things can equilibrate and not to shock the sperm too much. Once the cryoprotectant is added, each vial will have a certain volume of sperm, as you can see, being added. And the third vial is our test vial. And that will be used to test out and thaw before the sample is actually used for IVF. And that enables us to just identify, make sure there's sperm survival, and that the sample itself is adequate to use for an IVF cycle. Now you can see the vials being added to the cryocane, and this is what they're stored in once they go into their cryo tanks filled with liquid nitrogen. The first step in the process of freezing it is introducing the sperm vials to liquid nitrogen vapor. And this vapor is slightly warmer than the liquid nitrogen itself, so it's just a small step to introduce it to the process of being frozen. And it will stay in that liquid nitrogen until equilibrated, and then it's moved to long-term storage where it is placed in liquid nitrogen tanks. Once that is complete, we will start thawing out our test vial. And as you can see, the embryologist placing it in the first stage of warming in a 37-degree water bath. Once that is complete, he will go back over to his countertop and use his macular counting chamber to take a look at the sperm sample and see what survival looked like. And this allows us to verify again that the sample does have survival and we will be able to use it for IVF in a future cycle.